Hello and welcome to the preview for racing at Canterbury, and we'll also take a break and then we'll do...
Sorry, what did you say, Dale? Racing at Canterbury?
Racing at Canterbury. We've got Canterbury. Mark.
Yeah, preview show for Canterbury.
Preview show for Canterbury. Mark, Aaron, hello there.
How are you, Dale?
Good, and we'll also, we'll take a little bit of a break and we'll have a look at the feature races in Melbourne, because obviously with Melbourne Cup Week and everything like that, it makes everything hard. So Anthony and Darren haven't been able to go in depth in it, but we'll have a look at the feature races there as well.
They joined in the celebrations.
No, the celebrations are
because you know what it's like being down there for the week, isn't it? It's actually hard to get work done.
Yeah, it is very hard to get work done, but I think well, it's just very hard to get the work done full stop, because there's 2 million runners and then trying to work out tracks and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. So anyway, let's get into Canterbury and have a look. Mark, you've just handed me a sheet. Meeting 23rd of April 2015 at Canterbury. Rainfall last 24 hours 60 millimetres, last 7 days 288 millimetres. Heavy 9 was the official reading, but you said it ended up a soft 7?
Yeah,
okay.
soft 7.
It's okay. 14 mils last 24 hours, 37 mils last 7 days, hot day today, heavy 8.
But
it tells you the penetrometer, something wrong with the penetrometer as well.
Oh, the penetrometer is the same, 5.85.
That's why they say heavy, because they do the penetrometer.
Yeah.
It says 5.85, but I think there's some problem doing the penetrometer straight after rain.
Of course it would be. Of course
there's raining.
Well, we saw at Flemington yesterday. Straight after those showers, the race meeting was being called off, and then within half an hour, that was all not even a problem.
Oh, so everyone forgot about it today.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, all right, okay. So what are we saying about Canterbury? Canterbury is a track that can be a little bit of a chameleon. It can change its colours a bit.
And it's been doing that of late as well, I found. We had rail 8 there, which is usually down the outside. Yep. Fence on fire the other day. So.
Well, but down the outside at 8 metres can be counterintuitive. I mean, on a track like that, it's just... we don't have a reading on why that is the case. We just observed that to be the case. Yeah. Canterbury back in the true generally does... There's only one meeting where I've seen it be off on the inside, and all the others, the rail goes back into the true, the inside is good as gold. I'm not saying you have to be there, I'm just saying it's good as gold.
But one of the things 99 out of 100 play at Canterbury is saving ground around that long sweeping bend.
Yeah.
It's a tight circuit, and
there'll be one time a year where you can get away with it.
Yeah, but normally you want to be able to save ground, and then if it is playing down the outside, cut up from the inside and then get to the old Darren Beaver move.
Yeah.
All right, lovely. Okay, and where are we saying the track is going to get from this almost called off heavy 8 rating today, Mark?
Well, they won't call it a good 4, but it could be a good 4. Which is
so. The day today is warmer than was forecast.
Well, we're in the middle of a low pressure cell.
Sorry?
We could still get a little bit of rain.
Yeah. It's that fluky type forecast, isn't it?
Well, the winds will shift around to the south tomorrow, and that could give a little bit of coastal rain. So it's not the end of it, but I mean, whatever this does is brutal.
What do you mean?
In terms of this sort of weather, like the ground just sort of like...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it'll be almost dry there today. Now,
probably one of the best drying tracks.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what we're dealing with. Anyway, we'll start it with the race one.
Best drying track, but trainers aren't very keen to race there.
No, we've only had 5 of them turn up in the first, and it is Riker $2.10, Slots $3.20 backing up, and Christy Lee $2.90. Mark,
really?
Yeah, there she is. What do we just? Whoever feels like leading, Riker probably wants to lead. Finishing card's got a bit of pace fresh. First up from 200 odd days off.
I think they all get to be in the van.
Yeah, that's right, exactly. Put it this way, there shouldn't be a disadvantage runner in the race. Thoughts? Start with.
Well, thank God Christian rode a winner in the first on Tuesday, and that would have been so good for him because we were in danger of losing him completely. So he turned up on Tuesday on Bjorn's 25 to 1 chance in the first and streaked away to win by a good margin, and he needed it because he needs to go to the lead here on Riker. Second up from the spell, set outside the ill-fated Casiano lad first up, and finds what looks to be something of a winnable race.
It does. I mean, I think Riker, we've said a million times about Riker, is that bone dry track is his go.
It's got to be the same as it was a fortnight ago.
Yeah. So, but it's still sort of passable for him, especially considering he looks like getting a pretty soft time in front. Aaron Macy.
Yeah, he does look that way. I'd just like to see him go to the front. I'd probably like to see him in a set of blinkers just to be super confident.
I'd like to probably see him have a win, say somewhere in the last 5 years.
Yeah,
but most people are saying, or the connections are saying, I'd particularly like to see him against these horses.
Yeah.
Slots has run in a terrible race last week.
Yep.
Christy Lee has loitered at the back of the field for a few runs.
Yeah. We'll stay on Christy Lee. I hate saying it about Waller's because Waller keeps persisting in that, but geez, there's a lot of evidence to say that she's gone.
I think this could be the last real throw up the stumps with the blinkers back on.
Yeah.
Last time that she won with blinkers, she won like Bamber in them, which was a very long.
When S. Clinton rode her when she was looking for a run.
Might have been back in 2013.
Yeah, about the same.
In fact, she's the most recent winner in the race.
Is she?
Believe it or not.
Is that really right? Okay, sure.
Right, she has won a race on the 20th of December last year.
That was
right.
Was that in blinkers?
You know, and she's also the only horse to have won a race in Sydney.
Big race. Slots backs up. Only a common race. She only went common, but looks to appreciate a slower tempo.
She got held up in the wrong part, and she couldn't really get out. And when she finally got out, she hit the line fine. Like it was a half a forgive run. Like I thought the bottom three in this race looked to be the three hopes.
Well done, Aaron. You managed
I've
to
nailed it. That's what the market is. I don't think there's very much of an edge.
All right,
in the
okay,
race.
let's move on. All right, anyone want to have a bet?
I'm leaning towards Christy Lee actually.
Oh, you're thinking
I was doing the race Riker,
yeah,
and then I just went. This could be Christy Lee being a bitch, sitting there, blinkers on, they pull her out.
Look, if she can recapture and she's there, fucking moral. But you know, like, because slow pace, just there, big 400 metre sprint, off you go.
She's just a bitch.
But I might, as I said, I hate doubting with the Chris Waller thing, but from the evidence that I've seen so far, she might not. She might.
What about this idea? There's the three chances. You just back the longest of them.
Yeah.
Which is slots.
Well, at the moment, but I mean, you know.
Yeah. What about we just move on?
I'd rather be seeing all the money come for the Ingham horse. And just getting on
and going with the wave.
And
exactly.
I'm happy to take the unders here.
Betting,
you guys know what's going on.
That's right. The under, and as I think we did, Paul Daly did a stat on that. The unders aren't unders.
It's a neat idea.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
All right, moving on. Race 2, 2-year-olds, plenty of scratchings. Morden's Fork 6-4 favourite at the moment, and then pretty much the next three all in the same row. Rather Sweet, Amber Isle, and Slick.
Does anyone want to back a blue horse at the moment?
No, not at all.
Right.
No, not at all.
And they kept serving them up on Tuesday, and they kept going into reverse.
Yep.
You know, we saw the wheeled backed like there was no tomorrow.
Yeah.
We saw Pursuits heavily backed.
Yeah. They were lucky to pass the run all day.
Go back and have a look at the last. They had that purple patch on Epsom Day.
Yep.
With the 2-year-old winner, with Ambience, with Complacent, with Magic Hurricane.
Yeah. And
Ambience has only won since, I think.
Yeah, quite possibly.
I think Contributor's run was good, but that's about it.
Yeah, but it's getting...
Well, like for a major stable, and for this stable that everyone's so sycophantic about, because race callers are constantly nominating that stable in the run.
That's right, exactly. Well, I mean, when you go pound for pound, dollar for dollar, they've got to be training every second feature race winner almost, don't they? You know, I mean, not to that extent, but...
Well, that sort of level of support and performance-enhancing support...
Yep.
It's amazing how badly they're going.
Yep, exactly right. Anyway, so Morden's Fork's $2.50, and out of the same race, Pix Charmer was very common the other day, I thought, with the advantage of the run and the belt and all that.
Yep.
They're just not going on with it. They're sort of putting in 1 and 2 good runs, and they're just not. They're just not finishing off.
So they're currently in the marketplace. They take up 54% of this race.
Oh, of course they do. Exactly.
It's good.
Right.
It actually makes me really want to bet in the race.
Okay, who do you want to back then, Aaron?
I want to back Babushka. Babushka, 2 trial. Leon Davies obviously has an opinion of the horse being from Tamworth. He's travelled down twice into town to trial with it.
Have left it here or not?
And
any chance he left it here?
Yeah, I'm assuming. But I was really happy with the second trial, especially. It ran second to one of Bjorn's, and Bjorn thinks it's probably one that would be in his top 2 of his 2-year-old.
What, it'll run second last on debut instead of last?
No, Bjorn, yeah, exactly.
I think we've all...
Like Bjorn is a great trainer. Yeah. Like, he does some magical things. But the 2-year-olds he's thrown out this season so far have not passed the ambulance.
Well, the one that was in this
Orange
race, I'd
chase
assume
horses.
would be his best, and I think he'll be winning in town, and so will.
Trialled really well.
Yeah. I don't think any of his horses have trialled good. People have seen fast trials and think Beyond's a trial. I thought all of his horses
Anyway,
that he's got raced
can we
all week.
focus on this race, please?
Back to this. Anyway, I've liked its trials. It was in the fastest time of the day. It looked to have done it relatively easy. I thought Josh Parr even sat up on it the last little bit and then let it go again after the line.
So
it's big odds in a race where.
But you end up with J Ford here because for some reason they've not changed the set weight scale as they've like raised the. You know, remember the Golden Slipper male always had 55.5, probably 40 years ago?
Yeah, it was 55 to 50, 55 and a half, 53, wasn't it?
Yeah. Right, they're still carrying 56 and 54 in set weights races.
Yeah, when they've raised the weights.
It should be 58 and 56.
Well, one would think.
Well, Josh Parr can't ride this horse, I assume.
Come on.
Yeah, I'm assuming so. I'm quite keen. I'm quite keen on it in a race where I think the favourites are unders.
All right, okay, Mark, do you have an opinion?
Look,
Apart from opposing blue shirts.
Yeah, I have to go to the horse that from the unfashionable yard that's won its 2 trials, the Gitan.
Yep.
Who surprised me that he was $11 because it didn't seem like he was that hopeless.
I thought his trials were fair at best.
He's won his both trials. Yeah.
Like we just spoke about Beyond's horses that have won trials and went to the race to run last. Just because you win a trial doesn't mean you have ability.
No, but you don't know how slow it is. It doesn't tell you how slow it is because it's won. Anyway,
interesting.
That's where I'm heading, Dal. I wasn't thinking of that, but they want to say $11, and Morton's Fork and Sleek I've spoken about, blue colours.
Yeah.
Rather Sweet ran its race at home at Warwick Farm, and Amber Isle has had 3 trials at home. Waller 2-year-old. I'm not jumping in there.
I didn't mind the look of Amber Isle. I thought
looks all right, but $4 is not good enough.
No, it's probably not. But
So look, we're both in the double figures here.
Yeah, why not?
Babushka, fine. I'm with Gitan.
And the only point I'll make is the same point I made again. Going to Rosehill, 1100 metres to run under your belt is often good, and that gives Morton's Fork a kick, but good luck with the Blues. Race 3 is over $15.50 and $4 feast for lining. Cost a line $3.80, $4.60 last week. It's $5.50 Storm System. All right. I'd imagine the key to the map here is in Costa Line isn't back last wood today, and it would take advantage of the
low draw.
Soft draw.
The other thing is that everyone so Feast for Eyes won on on the track that Aaron spoke about, which was, it just wasn't a race, was it, Aaron?
No, it wasn't.
So when I know that there's mostly Waller underneath him, there's 3 Wallers underneath him. Torgerson, Spazizi and then Costa Line, but I'd imagine that Last Witness and or Storm System keeps him out for a little while.
Yep, okay. All right, lovely. So that should see Costa Line getting a nice race. And take note, 59.5 kilos, not 60 kilos for in Costa Line. All right.
What's the difference?
Does to mindset. Okay,
Yes.
okay, in Costa Line, I think it looks very well placed. Key to it is, I think it wants real dry tracks, but it's probably going to be dry enough for it. I think it's very hard to beat. That's my thoughts.
Yeah, I said 5 to 4.
Yeah, so I thought it was a very logical place to go as favourite, and I thought $3.80.
Yeah, no, I'd be marking Feast for Eyes favourite over River. I thought it's the one that will go forward from the wide gate, looks to control the pace here. Before I went into the race in full, I liked it a lot, and then I did, and I thought this race scares the shit out of me, and I think I want to be on whatever one is the firmer, because I think if it's the one that's firm, it's going to get a soft lead. If it's the one that's out the gate, well, something's going to pressure it and could set up the race.
Wouldn't often the pattern is the Waller horse that had the change of tactics that was probably a negative change of tactics last start, which was in Costa Line, went back to last, and then the favourite, which was the positive, or the Montauk, which was the one that won, was the positive tactics, and now then normally that change means that the positive, and it's your go today.
Possibly. I just thought Feast for Eyes was the better of the 2 horses, and that he was choking down his tongue before they put the tongue tie on.
Well,
he still has the tongue
he
tie.
wasn't fit either. I mean, that's a legitimate point that, and Costa Line has been a bit more wound up than Feast for Eyes when last they clashed at Randwick.
Yeah, because last time they clashed here, he kicked his head in.
Yeah, but it's on a heavy track.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that.
We're on a heavy track, remember?
Yeah, no, we're not. Yeah, exactly. No. But the Feast for Eyes, our figures had it doing absolutely zip the other day. What did you say?
Yeah, got away with it. Got away with it.
Yeah, I think in Costa Line brings more. Anyway, I'm in Costalainen. I'm keen. You're keen too,
Very
mate?
keen.
Yeah, and Aaron, you're not.
I'm not.
You're
keen,
sort of
I'm
you're
leaning
keeping
towards the top
powder
one.
dry.
Yep.
Race 4. $2.10-ish about Mr. Manhattan seems a good price. $6 the rest of them, which is inside job, 3's the charges, and don't tease me. Mark.
Yeah, I think it'll be shorter.
Yeah, yeah, I was surprised to see $2
You know,
anything.
you've got a situation where, and don't tease me, he's still in Brisbane. Has he been scratched from Brisbane tonight?
I'm not sure.
Doesn't have a ride in Brisbane, which indicates that he'll be running here. But amazingly, it seems the idea to run it in Brisbane, a track where in track and distance has won at last start.
Yeah.
Surprising to come to Canterbury and have to joust with Freeze the Chargers early doors. Scrimmador's very fresh and has got pace, and Bulpit last time we saw him led at Rose Hill in the 1100 where Fine Mist set outside him. So there's 4 designated leaders.
Yeah, and Mr. Manhattan just plunked.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is that he's gone sort of wide 1,000 to inside. I don't.
But the only thing is with this inside, that's the place you want to be.
But it's not going to. Is it going to make a difference? Because they're all just going to go, and he's going to be sitting there going,
Go.
"Oh,
Hi."
there you are.
Yeah.
I'm coming.
Yeah, I'm here.
Coming. See
here.
us."
Yeah.
He has placed it beautifully.
I thought it's a 2's on 2's, isn't it? I mean,
He's placed it beautifully.
yeah. I mean, he had best of the day figures at 1,000 metres. Everybody, including the trainer, said it needed beyond 1,000. He's run pretty much on our figures, pretty much the same figures again, which shows he's racing great and he's probably improved in himself. He's still had improvement in the yard, Aaron, and he's going to improve at 1,100 metres. He just the
race run to suit.
The only thing is Josh Part inside, horses falling back. I reckon that's your gamble.
No, I thought this one suits him because he gets to just drop back.
Yeah,
go fast
I
in front.
think so.
This is what he does.
I think
he's
so.
good at
Yeah.
just sitting on them.
Yeah, that's your gamble.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, but that's the gamble.
I think if he shows up, he
Well, what's the
wins.
alternative anyway?
Yeah, that's right, exactly. Who's he up against? Exactly, he's the best rider in the race. So, anyway, but that doesn't...
Yeah, anyway.
It's not the same as backing Hugh Bowman versus to get out of that situation.
The suggestion is you take the
He's on the
205
best
right
odds.
now.
Yeah, that's the go. I think that's probably the best thing we can say to the 205 right now because there's no way no one's going to start any longer than that.
And if it does, there might be an issue with the
That's
odds.
right. We're fucked anyway, so... All right. Okay, there it is. Any other thoughts on the rest of them? Freeze the charges. As you mentioned the show on Monday, Mark, it just dropped right out after going too fast. Tough race to back up on, but maybe that knocks the keenness out of it, so it races more generously. But
It's just a horse that tends to
It just-
it just gets the lead on its own and then
Yeah.
just keeps running.
it's planet racing, isn't it? Mr. Manhattan's got something these don't.
Well, I think the thing is that you could entertain Freeze the Chargers, but it's got 3 horses that want to bore it up at.
Yeah, exactly. All right, enough said. Mr. Manhattan, thank you very much. Tab Highway over 1550 for the country horses. Luxury, if it backs up, 380. Is there any scratch? I haven't checked the early scratchings.
Number 12 is scratched and number 1 doesn't have a rider.
Yeah, so
Danny
380.
Williams has got a few. He's got 2 other runners in the race.
He's a pretty ill scratcher, Danny Williams, isn't he? Too? 380 luxury, 420 for Jata, 550 darts away, and Music Man $7.50 for the Lion of Africa. And anyway,
Yeah, you're excited.
We're going to call this the Dallas Baker handicap
Yeah,
because
that's
he just
right.
loves it so much every week.
Yeah.
Do we just go to race 6?
Do you want it?
Oh, you didn't want to talk about it?
Oh, look, it looks to me like Ashjada and Luxury, although they're not necessarily got in-run favours because
Still didn't have a jockey yet, Luxury, did it? Or did it get
No,
one
we
this
just
morning?
spoke about that. Haven't we?
Sorry, I was
Yeah.
listening. Fucking on another planet.
I had V860 for Brenton and V860 and Baz's boy for Brenton in the van. Lion of Africa went very far, went a long way forward at Rose Hill. I don't know what the plan will be tomorrow. Shadow Affair might get a good run here, which we'll need too because it's going back to Queanbeyan to win. But he's a fashionable trainer, Matthew Dale, and 4-year-old mare that was the only other alternative.
Oh no, we just got distracted by something. yeah.
All right, okay. Anything you want to say, Aaron?
Well, one thing I always think about the 1550 at Canterbury.
He loves Bristol.
Yeah, Bristol's good. back on the 1550 at Canterbury, I always think it's quite a testing 1550, and the majority of these horses have never run this distance, or so as they won at the distance. So I was looking for horses that I thought would run the distance, and I thought there could be a one at a bit of odds that could possibly be that right horse. Produce, yes. I was looking down at the bottom one at 125 to 1, more so the place.
All right, well,
you
we'll kneel down before you on Monday.
You poor bastard.
I thought
You get a bet up at 125s. It's going to be Kathy and O'Hara, and that is it. This is potentially all over.
This is the one.
Anyway, he's getting the premium that he needs.
Oh no, he is, but I can just see what's going to happen.
It's going to run for it. You can see the
you poor bastard.
It's going to run for it.
Climbing over them.
All right, come on, I want to get to the race of the day.
Yeah,
Come on,
all right,
I can't believe we
let's
haven't
go.
spoken about this. Finally,
Yes, I know, here it is. Alright, moving on. Aaron's tipped 109 chance, and it's the end of
And
it.
Shadow Affair.
Shadow Affair. Hello, and there's a dog. Alright, okay, here it is, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It's the happy 60th birthday to Lindsay Murphy at the home track at Canterbury.
how did they do it for poor Lindsay?
And the race that we've been waiting for, the race that stops the nation. One Tails v
Well,
Barramilla.
it's a race within a race because I haven't tipped either of them.
No, well, and Team Barramilla's struggling too, just quietly. But anyway, alright, Mark. Leader obviously never got a vote, and Lafayette.
Well, this is an interesting race because Lafayette has put down some smart numbers last week at the 1580 with the rail out 8, holding off Binary, another Al Distant in third position and running well on Tuesday. But Jesus, $2.80 in a Saturday race.
Seems a bit tight, doesn't it?
I just wanted to bag the absolute tripe out of it.
Yeah.
Well, it has
I
put.
just wanted to bag the absolute tripe. If it came out and won, I would be very, very surprised.
Well, it's
I'm happy
never
to
got
be-
a vote. Never got a vote is it wants to be in the van, and
Never got a vote. Just can't do anything other than that.
so there's Lafayette. There's never got a vote. They have
Yeah.
to settle one too. Right?
Yeah, and they have-
she won't give it up, and
And they have to
she
annoy
won't
it,
give
and
it
they
up.
have to annoy each other.
So who's obviously that that should suit Sabrina, but the other horse that I wanted to suggest it will suit is Pythagorean, who there was a sneaky amount of money for at the death there on
Yeah.
last Saturday. Now
Yeah.
there it was, box seating, like sitting much further forward than I thought, and dropping out.
Yep.
But quick back up, third up, Balinka's on.
Yeah, Blinker's first time.
So
And I think the other thing that I think a lot of people miss is the horse, as you see, he went forward, he throws his head around, he's an absolute arsehole of a horse. With the pace on in front, it will allow him to actually settle. He'll
Yeah.
sit there with the blinkers on, get that nice trail, and it certainly looks a target race for him.
Yeah, well, he sort of hasn't really had that with Chris, has he? You know, like it's sort of been playing around, and here we go.
I think they put the coin on him one day actually at Canterbury. I think I had a bit of a on him.
right.
Yeah.
So does it matter that he finished 5 lengths behind Barramilla the other day?
Well, yeah, it's certainly there, but I think he's obviously not the same price either.
All right, well, let's talk about the two champions, Winetails. She gets the blinkers on. She comes out of the Casino Dancer Brutal race, which we did see form from that eventually turn up now a few weeks later with Zarzali. She's had the run since to knock it out of. If ever there is a day for Winetails, if ever there is a race for Winetails, this is the race.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so
You're
Team
saying
Winetails.
Fourth pick with me.
Team Winetails has dropped right off, okay.
I'm leaning towards her, and as long as this weather stays around and we don't get one of those miracle showers and gets wet, because I don't think she likes wet tracks. I don't think it will be, but as long as the rain stays away,
But see,
I'd be
we saw
leaning
on
her way.
Tuesday, wetting the grass is not wetting the ground.
No.
No.
You know, where they wanted to call that track a soft 7 on Tuesday, it was always
ludicrous.
good.
It was never anything else.
Like the grass got wet, guys.
Well, and if I walk it as I do, and if you actually had a run on it, you'd end up with shin splints.
Yeah.
You're aware that it's not that
Not
wet.
that wet. So you're saying you're leaning towards Sabrina on top?
No, I haven't got Sabrina on top. I've got the horses that are racing well, never got a vote in Lafayette. Fighting it out, the horse I like in the race is Pythagorean.
All right.
Okay.
So in other words, what we're saying, the match race we've been waiting for,
It's good. Who doesn't finish last by the sound of it tomorrow?
It's a fizzer. Mine and Glenn's girl, Vera Miller, she's looking like she's on the way out. 1550 isn't her go, and it just doesn't look like it's, yeah.
Oh, so she's been given the dud.
Yeah,
The dud in the.
She hasn't got blinkers on. She's more beaten.
One.
Hey, oh yeah, I suppose the other one's got gate 2. She's more beaten up than the other one, and she's the wrong. Hey,
Vera Miller does wear blinkers.
yeah, but it's not blinkers
Oh,
on.
blinkers on, yeah.
Yeah, you know, that's great. So no, this
She's not given the red.
no, this is like it's you're taking on what's the good Rafael Nadal on clay. You know, I mean, it's just not fair.
Fair enough.
You know,
So who are you tipping in the race?
who am I? I'm tipping Winetail.
Yeah, you're.
Yeah, but I mean, like, and if she wasn't such an awful thing, I'd think she'd be an absolute moral. But she is what she is, and
She's starting to become.
Vera Miller.
No, I think she's becoming more Christy Lee. Actually has ability somewhere, but chooses not to display
she's
it.
Vera Miller. That's the end
Anyway,
point.
all will be revealed tomorrow.
All will be revealed
Put it this way.
Keep watching for Monday's show
Yeah.
because obviously it'll be a major feature on Monday's show.
All right, there
Well, I'm
you go.
leaning towards Sabrina Pythagorean from Winetails.
Sabrina needs to make an improvement. Bjorn seemed to think in the article you wrote, Aaron, which is now online.
Yeah.
I hope, if Matt's put it up.
Yeah, it is up.
It's
It is
up.
up.
Good,
It's
thank
up.
you. He thought it had him sort of taken that level that step up that it needed to.
Yeah, he said going into the run that he thought it hadn't been right in the coat and he'd
Yeah.
probably need the run and she could be a
Well,
little
you
bit
know,
down at that
Magic
trip.
Man does weird things to horses, doesn't he?
Yeah. Yes.
And
Anyway.
also he's Brody Lloyd to Abdallah and I think
Yeah, that's
It's-
yeah. I think
it's class.
Bjorn's. You'll probably see a little bit of B. Loy replaced with Bjorn, and I think that you might see a bit
Yeah,
of a
what?
spike
So the
there.
magic of Barbero's
I think the long distance memory of Barbero is a long distance memory.
race
Reversion to mean, Mark.
Yes. So that's the high grade race for the day.
The low grade race is race 7 for
But
the
I mean,
village.
at least we get fields of 10 in the next three. because
Yes.
We've got the biggest field of the day is the highway race.
Yeah.
By it's 12. And that's the trouble.
Having that
with-
scratching shit, yes, exactly. Anyway, festivity second up from a very long spell, 280. And then
Jordan Childs on.
sorry, with Jordan Childs on, exactly.
Sorry, Mr. Jordan Childs according to Racing South Wales, or is it Master Jordan Childs? I'm not sure. Go on.
Scripchenko, Butterboom, and Rule the River. The next about $6 or $7.
So it's second up from a monster spell. It
Yeah.
stays at 1100. Surely, all I can suggest is that my trading sheet tomorrow will be saying lay this horse.
Yeah, okay.
Try and lay this horse
and lay-
now.
Yeah. Because
it's going to trade a lot
should get
longer.
out. But the problem with that is, though, Mark, something has to win the race. There doesn't seem to be great figures in the race, and at least it.
Yeah,
at least
that's
it-
right, that's
at least
right.
it has, from our numbers, it's numbers.
No,
last
I'm not saying it can't win the race.
But
I'm
you're
not
just saying
that.
you can't
Just
trade at
saying-
$2.80 with Jordan Child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a stack of leaders in this race. I mean, or half leaders in this race, aren't there?
Oh, there's go forward horses if you've got to put it that way.
So I mean, the horse that I imagine I'll settle on is Jason first up.
Yeah.
Who I'm very keen on.
Yeah.
What a surprise! There's a perfect race for it. And
This looks perfect.
it-
There's lots of leaders.
Silly price, isn't it?
Trialled good. Looks a perfect each way.
You
there.
are for. Is it still? I haven't checked this one. Is it still that price you put out? You put that out
It
as your.
was, yeah. No, it's into about 5. I
Is
think.
it, you put it out as your early
$5.50.
overs. Anybody want to
What
be
did
getting
you
it? Early overs. Check out
What was
Thursday
it,
afternoon.
I think it was $6. There's nothing over the top of what it is, but I think it will start closer to $4 around that mark somewhere.
Very good.
All right, lovely.
Trials are good. It made the progression from practically the bush to midweek racing, and this looks the right horse here. Right run, stable's going very good.
Because we've got festivity trying to keep up and down on the inside. We've got Magnajoy and Thorsborn who's been freshened up, and any of Butterboom, Highly Geared, and Oh So Adorable could make a play for the lead. Kikasan will take a sit tomorrow, I imagine, as will Rule the River, and Skripchenko and Floral Gold will go back.
Yeah. So Skripchenko. It seems silly price. It's pretty much what we're saying.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's the one that we targeted.
I think it's either festivity or Skripchenko. As you said, festivity's got its problems, but At least it does that. It doesn't look big icky setting up over such a long spell. But
Well, hang on, you know, like he won 12.50, then I went to 15.50. So
Yeah.
what's that saying about the horse? It's not saying that it's a short course.
short course sprinter, no, exactly right. So, and we all know that about Gay. We want to be going up in distance. Okay, so Skripchenko the bet at the moment.
I did on top for him, and I thought Rule the River was interesting. Won well fresh last time. Yes, but he did a low grade race, but did it in very good style.
But on Anthony,
Just
he's
under
always
4.
there to niggle you, isn't he?
Yeah, well, and he always seems to have his horses wound up fresh, in my opinion. And I thought it's one of the horses that's also going to go back from its inside draw and then get a lovely run from the speed up front.
For sure. I want to mention Floral Gold, who never wins but is dangerous in this type of race.
It always seems to be well supported with odds, I find.
Well, I know it does things that like it doesn't have a general mien that is meritorious, but she does little things to get you in that mean that she's supported without winning.
Beautiful. Now we've done a show without spruiking anything. The first thing we want to talk about is, and we'll talk about it.
We were nearly going to do a show.
Yeah, I know. I just thought, shit, I've got commitments. $25,000 tournament, Aaron. Is going to be hopefully a weekly feature going forward. We did one on Cup Day, obviously the back of the 100k Derby Day tournament, which was such a huge success. We got over, I think, about $110,000 in the pool, 108,000, something like that.
108.
Yeah, something along those lines. But each week we're going to try to run, at least for the next few anyway, a $25,000 tournament. And this week it's on all 4 states: Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, Adelaide. So you can bet everywhere.
I find these things out on the show.
Yes, exactly. So that's what it is. $110 buy-in. So you can, if you don't want to bet in Melbourne, you don't have to bet in Melbourne. You've got your choice of where you can bet, but it's rapid fire all around Australia. Bet wherever you like. Win and place. You start with $10,000 better bucks as per usual. And if you deposit $250 into your top better account, you will get free entry into the tournament.
Beautiful.
So put 250 in. Fixed odds betting is now available at Top Better. So if you haven't tried betting across the Top Better platform, give it a go now. And they're quite competitive prices. You'll get pretty much close to as good as being bet. They're right near the top of the market anyway. So it's a good way if you just want to play with one account. You're not going to get bottom odds. You're not going to get the absolute great odds, but you're going to get somewhere in between. It'll average itself out for you across the day. But by putting $250 in, you're going to get your free entry into the tournament of $25,000, which is paying down to probably about 10th. So first prize about 7-ish or thereabouts, and down to 10th, 11th, 12th, $500. So very good
It's a
chance.
good way to spend your Saturday if you
Absolutely, and if you do deposit your $250, you get your ticket for free. So you're going to have $250 worth of bets.
It's not exactly easy to turn 110. Not that winning a tournament's easy.
No.
But it's quite hard to turn 110
into 7. Well, with concessions as well too. It's not easy to turn 110 into 1,000, and if you run 5th or 6th, you're probably getting that.
Yeah.
So Top Better tournament. Just click on the tournament site. That'll take you there, and bingo.
Bingo.
Bingo dingo.
Beautiful. Right, race 8, the staying race, 1900 metres, Sabcat 380, 440 quick strike on the backup, and Marlborough Serembino is not running.
It is gone.
Gone, is it?
It's sold. It's gone to Brisbane.
Okay, there you go. We didn't have a chance in this race. Anyway, Mark,
Well,
what
it
is...
fitted into this race very nicely, but I didn't actually. It was already scratched by the time I got to look at it.
All right.
Yes, so Song and Laughter, who led in the jiggy jog around in the 6 runner field around the 8 metres 10 days ago, gets Brenton on board and looks to go forward. Blue Colours number 1 is an obvious forward runner, and other than that, it's catch and kill your own. Quick Strike was improved, being ridden, being put into the race the other day. I imagine that he'll follow them
very
across.
heavily backed.
But I would have Song and Laughter taking it up with Sapcat ending up on her heel.
Yes, okay. So,
Well,
You can
obviously I don't
start
want to tip
this
number
as a
1.
U race.
you don't want to tip number 1? No. It doesn't have much. I suppose it's got the 2,000 metre run under its belt now, but
But every possible the other day, and
it just doesn't have much.
yeah. So I'm looking away from number 1.
All right, okay, Quick Strike on the backup. They have gone very fast in front. Returned to
Why
form.
were the times were all right in that race, weren't they?
Yeah, well,
Why was that?
they've smashed it. They've gone 10 lengths above average.
Like it's a plum punch
How?
finish, Marvellous Ceramibo.
I know, exactly.
Was climbing over the
I know,
heels.
yeah.
Just a blur, didn't get around.
I'm thinking I'm not really taking much out of the overall time because of that, or the overall data because of that. What I am taking about it was a very hard run. And they're things you don't want to back up off as well too.
Right.
So, but then again, it is Chris Waller. So, okay, so there it is. So we potted A and B. Who's C? I mean, it is a race nothing can win.
Yeah, well, nothing. They're all sort of honest in their way. So I went to a horse that I wanted to pot to begin with, which is Song and Laughter, because she's now had a run over the 1900. Yes, she did lead on that advantageous track, but she gets one of the better riders in the race, and some chasers that are
One of the better riders in the race.
Yeah.
well, look,
That's an interesting
Clippo,
way of
Clippo, Jace, Ty. They're not a long way behind.
Neither's the moon from Earth.
Well, that's in relation to the sun.
In relation to the sun, exactly. It's all relative.
Yeah. So that's where I landed. I suppose I wanted to say, well, look, Now's the Time has an obvious chance. Quick Strike has an obvious chance. Zarboss back to Canterbury has an obvious chance. I've made the case for Song and Laughter, and Viva Lisboa. It will be long odds here, but does come out of a race that that you could be willing to try it off. So I think there's a bit
It
of
seems
depth
to be
here.
a race with about 7 chances.
And
that
good
you
old
don't-
poor old
don't
award
find
season
out.
hasn't been seen for how many days?
They obviously must have had a very good opinion of this
973
horse 'cause they've
days.
Given him 2 years. Yes,
Oh,
almost
giving
3
him
years.
time to mature.
No, like, he's obviously had a huge setback, but they've obviously had a good opinion of him that can keep him in work.
What are you
Anyway.
going to do? Is he gelding you? Or are you just...
Shit, well.
Yeah, I just can't believe they persisted this long.
Oh, he'll come good one day.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mark's,
You got anything to
Mark's
say?
got Song and Laughter on top. You'll be having, what, 45 units on it? Really chips in on that, are you?
Well, look, it actually doesn't read that bad. And last time Song and Laughter and Quick Strike clashed in a Saturday race
Yes.
was 1500 at Rose Hill.
People haven't stopped talking about it.
No, they haven't.
She
Go back
seems
and
to
have...
be her horse when she hits her form, she holds it for a couple of runs.
Beauty.
Yeah.
All right,
I think
Yeah,
so.
okay,
anyway.
right. No one's excited.
Okay, well, okay, Mark, people can see, get you a sheet and see you've marked Song and Laughter $4. How do they do this?
They go to One to Follow or the Punter Show or wherever they
There
can
they go.
find.
Yeah.
Go to that enormous product page and
Yes.
scroll right down to the bottom. Go
you're-
through those 60.
Oh, sorry, you were up the top forever. We just thought we might prioritise a thing called Melbourne Cup Day. Sorry, sorry.
It's fine.
Oh.
Just go to the product page on One to Follow.
You'll be up back near the top somewhere again too. So you've got Mark $60 stuff, which is for Saturdays, obviously. Where are we? Saturday. What's the away meeting?
Beaumont.
Beaumont.
The dog track.
All right, right back to Newcastle there, and then we have also got your $20 weekly service.
Where you get all those numbers.
All the numbers for all Sydney and provincial programs in New South Wales. So that's a great value service if you just want to be able to follow Mark across with his selections for all of those meetings. So just on the site there it is, jump on board and easy peasy. All right, the final event, Aaron, is, or Mark and both of you, is the Celebrations Handicap over whatever $12.50 it is. Surf and Safari is $4.60. Better Not Blue about $5 or $6. Crooked Blaze is out, isn't it? And Sanzio $6.
Right, so let's talk about Surf and Safari, who has bludged away in 2 obviously high rating races, but has not participated at all.
No, a bit of a mid-race surge, but that's about it.
You know, a horse that you would have wanted to have seen something a little bit more, given that his connections are a bit peripheral.
Yeah,
It's not like he's trained by Waller.
No, exactly. It seemed a strange horse to be finding on the top of the market.
Well, it's just like, oh, well, you know, we know these horses are all exposed, and this horse comes out of Counterattack Exosphere. So
Yeah, so there you got the names
You know.
there. I suppose you can easily mark it. Yeah, okay. I can
well,
see that.
I
Okay.
certainly, went looking for it a bit, but I wasn't prepared to throw my lot in.
No.
Aaron, you got a thought here?
On him, yeah, comes very far back in grade, and I don't know, drawn well. Ty. I think Ty looks good tomorrow in the bunch of riders that are
Do you
there.
want to back?
It depends what price it roughly is.
Is he
It's
long
more
enough
my
for you at the
saving.
moment?
What is he currently now?
$4.75.
Yeah, I reckon if he hit around that $5 mark is his right price in this field, I thought.
But, and Mark, you're saying obviously hard to find that price.
Look, I've marked him third pick, Dale, but I've marked him 11 to 1.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So it's one of those races where, yes, pair to lots of horses, which is how I've managed to get him third pick.
Yeah.
But, you know, he's not offering much in the way of stuff to hang your hat on.
Actually, and then actually, when you think about it, you go back to his win at Rosehill. It was over Group 1 winning champion Van Brew.
Yeah. Well, let's just get that in
So
context.
there
needs to be some sort of gradation. You know, the fact is that that Vanbrugh has won a Group 1, as has well, you know, name me the number 1 ranked horse in the country at the moment.
Number 1 ranked horse in the game, Winx.
Winx, that's right.
Winx.
So Vanbraugh's won a Group 1 and Winx has won the Group 1 Cox Plate.
Oh, now
So
every time any horse that ran against Winx back in the day now gets, oh Jesus, you ran against Winx that day, yeah.
City Star.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just not right
No.
that you can win a Group 1 early 3-year-old over 2,000 and people just say Group 1 and that's the end of the story.
Yeah, that's right, exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway,
exactly.
moving
yeah,
on.
there should be super. It should be super Group 1s. I mean, to have the Cox Plate rated the same as
the Oaks.
the Oak, exactly. It's quite stupid. Anyway, well, let's keep going.
The Queensland Oaks is a good form one these days, isn't it?
Is this still a Group 1?
Well, Winx won it.
Winx won it was
Yeah.
my point.
Yeah.
Great form race.
Anyway, Better Not Blue, Aaron.
Yes, highly likeable in this race.
Very highly likeable.
Very likeable.
Now, I had a bit of a problem with the speed in this race, Aaron.
You're saying that there's not enough of it? Or
I'm saying that Typhoon Jolie leads,
Yes.
and the next speed is drawn gate 1 and 2, so they're not going anywhere fast.
I thought Servant Safari pushed up here for sure.
Off what?
Off
He hasn't
what?
got any platform to push forward.
Why not?
Because he's settled last in 2 races. Now, I know that you're going to say that is fast enough to get him there, but the fact is that...
No, that's not what I'd say. He was in races that he was just so far out of his depth. He was just there for what looked barrier trials, and if you go back to when he was actually winning races, he was pushing, sitting in the first
I've got him
three.
midfield here.
Okay, fair enough. Well, he was sitting in the first 3 when he was winning his races.
And there's no compulsion. He's drawn gate 3. There's no compulsion to
push
ride
forward.
him with the stick out of the gates.
Fair enough. Interesting. I had him sitting in that first 4 or 5.
You want to say something, Dale?
Yeah, I was just going to. I asked Aaron to talk about Better Not Blue. I'll talk about it. I thought what it did first up was really good, but it did need a time off because it was quite brutal.
What you're asking. Yes.
It needed time off after that.
Yeah.
4 weeks off. I think he's good for it.
Yep.
Sting out of the ground, good. All that. Where it gets to, yep.
Settles last.
Well, sorry.
Settles last.
You reckon so? Yeah. Well,
Settles
that doesn't.
Look, he's got a great chance, but he's just, you know, what you see is what you get.
Yeah, absolutely. And what I saw is what I got, and I thought that put him on top of the rest of them.
Looks like to put him on top.
Yeah,
I think Mark's query of the pace, when I looked at the race, it was one that was a little bit icky, where they could look to go quite slow. Like if a few of them don't, then I did have those question mark horses that I found that could possibly push, and especially if a few of the leaders have won, I think a few horses will be looking to go more forward than regular.
Okay, so it's dependent on what's happening.
And the other thing
dependent
dependent on him is on her. I should say it's a nutcase in the yard. Is it he or her?
It's
he.
It's ridden by her.
Yeah, I don't know for what. You know, you get those horses you always get wrong.
You're not sure. Yeah.
Shane Dye. Anyway, he is a nutcase in the yard. So
He certainly come back a lot better.
yeah, he did that last time. He came back okay first up, and then every time he came out, he got worse and worse. So he'll parade poorly, but just how poorly is determinant on whether he gets my stamp of approval.
Well, last time he won in good style was at Canterbury, which I thought was
Yeah, he did, and in decent numbers too.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's Better Not Blue, who is, I think, the legitimate favourite in the race.
Yep.
The horses I want to talk about are Next Level, who is not really a metropolitan horse, but has got a setup here that is going to cheat away with gun on board for the apprentice, and he actually has been racing as well as he possibly can. 4-year-old that can overachieve here.
Yep.
Maximilian, who is another midweek horse, but at a midweek course, and got Poleaxe first up, and then as a golden switch from second up, and we saw a number of those horses on Tuesday just jump out of their skin.
Yep.
You tipped one of them, Dal, the D. Beasley. Didn't you tip Tony McAvoy
The
horse?
Tony McAvoy horse, which his name is what?
Oh, it starts with L.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, something.
And Typhoon Jolie, who has needed the run in 2 runs first up her last 2 campaigns, but actually resumes with blinkers this time. Doesn't have to sit outside lead, gets the lead, and has been like given 2 solid hit outs in trials.
Yeah, I thought if it was
Bit of Paul
if it becomes a leader's track, I think she'll be one that will start rather short.
Yep. That's fair call.
that
And
might be
Maximilian, as always, as we always say, the drier, the better.
Yeah.
So the race has interest because we've got a 3-year-old attempting to come out of very good races, but come off no
Yeah,
base.
exactly right. And I mean, if you had a bit of a mix and all that sort of stuff, and you had that versus that, you say that's what you sort of all you can ask for at this time of year.
Yeah, sure.
But you can ask for a little bit more than what we've got. Anyway, okay, boys. Thank you very much. We'll probably have the Melbourne video in front of this, so it's sort of reverse order. Star Wars working backwards.
Okay,
So,
am I sitting in for Melbourne, or you want me to leave?
Do you want to sit in for Melbourne?
I'd like to hear what's going on. in
Okay,
Melbourne.
all right, okay, cool. All right, we'll take a break,
Which is gonna
which we've
sound
already had, and